told for weeks by Democrats who say, oh, in private meetings, I've seen Joe Biden do cartwheels and handstands while doing trigonometry while solving all the nation's problems. We now know that every single person who said that has been lying to the American people.
That is Scott Jennings, a political analyst for CNN, saying they've been lying to the people, and nobody at the CNN desk there with Van Jones and one of their anchors and somebody else, none of them blinked an eye when he was saying that. They didn't go, what? Joe Biden's Gallup poll before this debate is at an 18-year low. His popularity. Pollster Nate Silver, yesterday we talked about this, or 2 days ago, said Trump has a 66% chance of winning. The Economist put the odds at 75% chance of him winning. And I also saw that some other stuff on CNN about how, again, trying to chase them out. The delegates and how that works, there's no way it's going to happen. I'm going to explain that to you with a handful of sentences from a 4-page piece from NBC News today about how it's not going to happen and why. But I want to hear from you right now at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Is Joe Biden done? Do you think they're going to try to force him to step down? And here's a big one I've been asking, and Benny from Montreal wanted to get in on this one. Watch this. Should Trump do the second debate? I just came up with this one kind of late in the game today. I'm like, I thought about it myself. I'm like, maybe, why would he want to do a second debate? The only reason why I'd want Trump to do a second debate is if it would hurt him if he didn't do it. If it would not hurt him to cancel the second debate, and you want to wait, by the way, you want to wait at least a month before the debate, or 6 weeks before the debate. If your polling is really good and you know it's not going to hurt you, or you're very confident it won't hurt you, and your polling's very good, I think it'd be here they should definitely consider it. But if their polling is barely okay or slightly good, then you must do the debate, is my humble opinion. What do you think about that? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Two lines open. Chime in right now, y'all. Benny in Montreal, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM. Oh, I should say this. Welcome to WBAP. What do you got?
Well, okay. First of all, my name is Denny, like the restaurant. I'm open all night, so
like Benny and the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Denny. I'm sorry, Denny and the Jets. Yeah, are you in Montreal, Canada? Are you in Montreal, Canada?
Correct. Yeah,
eh?
that is correct.
You are,
yeah.
Dude. This is awesome. Eh? I love it, boy.
We're suffering more than you guys, believe it.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau is reportedly so bad that he's done. Like he's been.
It's sad. It's very sad.
Now I know he's been a tyrant. But is he really done, you think, from everything you're seeing there with the polling and everything?
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's... they're going to have to pull off something, just like they're going to have to pull off something for the real president to not be president again. Mm-hmm. And it might be something really big, like, I don't know, push Russia until Russia doesn't have a choice and press a button or something.
Yeah, start World War III so that you have to stick with the president, right?
Yeah, kind of. Well, they're going to try that, but I don't know if it's going to happen in America. In Canada, pretty much anything you tell them, I think at this moment we've lost our can-do spirit in a lot of ways. They took it away from the truckers, and if the truckers don't go back, and I've been making a joke, the truckers need to go back without their families. I think this time around they need to go back with their families and all their friends.
Right, I agree. Yeah.
So that's another story. But,
well, tell me, what are you thinking tonight?
Well, I believe that the president could not do the debate, like you said, if the numbers are good. I think that if it's just a toss-up, a coin toss or something, I wouldn't do it. I wasn't even happy that he did this one, but of course he had to in order to really show to the world how bad this guy is really, But enough is enough. Who wants to see that again?
Right.
And if it doesn't hurt him, of course he should not do it. And if it's just a gamble, a tiny gamble of, there's going to be a lot of things being said, like all over the CNN gang. He's afraid to face the pretend president again. Well, that's another story,
By the way, former Ohio Representative Tim Ryan and producer Garrett, would you Google what former Representative Tim Ryan? I'm sure he's a Democrat. Put retired or whatever former rep. Ryan there, is he a Democrat? I think he is. Okay, he just announced that Biden should step down. That's the first Democrat elected I've heard. Where's he out of, Ohio or something? Okay, interesting.
If I may just say one thing.
Yes, before I forget, I wanted to ask you one thing. What's the reaction been in Canada? But I don't want to hear what the reaction is in the Trump-liking community, but in general, have you seen stuff as your media covered it?
The media was actually quite interesting. I mean, normally you hear nothing but, we got to get rid of Trump no matter what, right?
Right.
I mean, you hear it here too. It's like it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But this time around, it was all more or less like the kind of stuff that CNN is saying. Because they all have the same marching orders, you know that. So they're saying...
go ahead. All the Canadian media is saying what the U.S. media is, okay?
I don't know about all the Canadian, but the little bit that I do listen
the gist, okay.
Pretty much they were saying, it was not... Like, instead of attacking Trump, they were saying that the guy's got a cold. They're trying to figure out a way to sort of pass it okay, but they all know that it was a completely deflation of a balloon.
Listen, thank you, Benny. What a great call you have. I appreciate it. Keep calling in from the great Republic of Canada. Mike and Keller, you're on, you are on WBAP. Hi.
It was a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Oh, it's my Mikey, Mike from Keller. You're the best. I love hearing from you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Matt Wallace was saying on X about the secretive earpiece that Biden was using in his ear. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was an actual legitimate, if he has hearing problems or not. But all the excuses that you heard last night and the day that he had a cold and the way he sounded, and his wife was blowing smoke up his butt on how he did the best and everything.
Here, let's play that. Let's play first the rally, and then we'll play Not a Dr. Jill. Here, listen to this. Here he is today.
Donald Trump says he thinks overturning Roe v. Wade was a beautiful thing. My son was one of those people, not a woman in the vehicle. Folks, look, I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. America bows to no one ever. Because I intend to win this state in November. Are you going to see that? I stand here today, I can honestly say I'm never more optimistic about America's future in my whole career.
Does he sound sick? That was today.
Well, there's a lot of clapping seals he has out there.
But you know how he said he was sick? They said he was sick yesterday. He's not sick, is he?
No, that's a lame excuse. I mean,
right.
Trump used a lot of class in pulling back on some things he could have mentioned when he was talking about how he talking about grabbing women and sexually assaulting women.
Yeah.
I'd have asked him about what is he dealing with his 12-year-old daughter taking a shower with him.
Yes, and why did she say that because of what happened in her childhood, she became a sex addict? And so referring to her childhood, and he was taking showers with her when she was young, as a young child, then that's your indicator. Here is Not a Dr. Jill saying how incredible Joe was last night. Instead of him saying anything, she was talking for him like she did today.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Her voice is so awesome. Her voice is so soothing, isn't it?
Yesterday, it was honorary April 1st, don't you?
No, what? Tell me about that.
Well, it was. It was April Fool's Day, and that's who he was. He was the fool.
Should Trump drop out of the second debate if his numbers look good, say 4 to 6 weeks ahead of the next debate on September 10th?
See what they want him to do. They want him to. Then you'll hear the purpley talking about that he's afraid of Team Biden and all this other crap. And if you call Trump a scaredy cat, he's not going nowhere. He's going to double down and bring the heat even more. I would have even challenged him to a game of golf as soon as he talked.
He did. Remember that?
Okay. I would have said, "Look, you come to my course. We'll play. We'll sit around and ride." And we'll play one-on-one right now. When you want to do it, buddy? That's what I would have told him.
So last question is: so you're basically saying you don't think there's any way Trump will cancel that next debate, even though he doesn't perhaps doesn't need it.
No, he's not going to cancel because of the fact that, all of his clappers, Biden's SEAL team will be after him.
Mike, you're the best. I love your calls. Keep them coming, my friend. Appreciate you. Okay, Paul in Dallas and Nakona in Cedar Park. You two are next out of the box. I'm also going to tell you this. This is amazing. The NBC News 4-page story today, Democrats are talking about replacing Joe Biden. That will not be so easy. And I'm going to read you a couple of highlights that show that there's no way they're going to replace him. They can't. And I'll tell you why coming up next. And more audio. You'll hear some more montage highlights from the media and their meltdown. I want you to hear from Focus pollster Frank Luntz about how bad his focus group was, how much Trump won the night with them. Next.
Take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me. We have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. What I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, and I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
Trump there were a few times he was nasty, and when he's nasty, he loses. That time was perfect right there. He didn't get personal. There were so many times when Trump didn't have a bad expression on his face when Joe was messing up. It was really reserved. There were, as I said, 3 or 4 times, maybe 5, in a period of time that were nasty, and that's not good. But for the most part, Trump did a solid job, slightly better than solid job. And he did one thing that's so hard for him to do, almost impossible, to restrain himself. And I'm very happy about that. He needs to restrain himself a little bit more, and he will win by a landslide, I think. I think we won the race last night, pending any major outrageous development, good or bad, for either side. Here's the thing. We got 3 people we're going to take in 1 sec, and we have time for all 3 of you. Coming up next, Greg and Denison, Paul in Dallas, and Nakona in Cedar Park. But first, for NBC News, Democrats are talking about replacing Joe Biden. It's not going to happen. Here's why. It takes a majority of the 4,000 pledged delegates to get the party's nomination. Biden won 3,900 of all 4,000 delegates. You understand that? 99.9 or whatever, 99% of all the delegates he won. Number 2, 700 superdelegates are only allowed to vote and overtake this if no one wins a majority of the pledged delegates on the first ballot. He won 99% of the first ballot. They cannot remove him. The second thing, could Democrats replace Biden against his will? There is no mechanism for it to replace a candidate, the Democrats to replace a candidate before the convention. And no way for it to anoint a chosen successor, period. If a vacancy were to occur close to November, like if Biden does it closer to November, it could raise constitutional, legal, and practical concerns. Ballots have to be printed well in advance of the election. It's not going to happen. He said today, directly tonight again, I will not be resigning or leaving this campaign. There's under no circumstances. I got this. I'm going to win it. I'm doing great. And he sure did, didn't he? Wow, it was amazing. Okay, which one first, sir? Nakona, you are in Cedar Park, and welcome to WBAP.
Chris, great to be on your show again.
Thank you.
Chris, I kind of disagree with you in how they're going to get Biden out.
Let me know. Tell me.
We know that Democrats are evil. So Joe is up there in age. All of a sudden, he has a heart attack. All of a sudden, something. That's how evil that party
like
is.
They Epstein him, like Hillary did to Epstein.
Exactly.
I have an Epstein ornament in my house. And it says this ornament didn't hang itself.
Yep, that's exactly what I believe is going to happen. What do they have to lose?
That is absolutely fascinating. I mean, that's unbelievable. And look, would our country, there are many who believe that the CIA assassinated JFK. There are people that Tucker Carlson is connected to, and he said this when he was on at Fox News, that have seen our former CIA, or maybe even current, but he said they've seen the reports physically, and it was done by the CIA. I don't know if that's true, okay? But so wouldn't they do it if it meant, because these people that run our government, their job is to keep Trump out of office and to destroy him. But I'd say about 70%, 60 to 70% of our federal government, their job is, they want this too, to destroy Trump, and they're going to try to. That's the question, big question. What will they try to do? Nakona, great call. Look forward to your next one. Next we got, which one do you want me to go to next? You want me to go to? Go ahead. Okay, let's go to Paul, and then we'll get to Greg and Dennison. Paul in Dallas, you're on WBAP. Hi.
Wow, thank you very much for having me on your show. Love it.
Thank you.
Listen, we won it. We won it last night.
We did.
There is no reason to have another debate. It is important. We had 51 million viewers last night.
Right.
It's important that we leave the viewers with that lasting impression of what they saw last night.
Yes. Can I ask you a question, though?
Yes, sir.
When would you think he should? I love your take. When would you think that he should cancel it? Because I think if he does it now, it's going to be terrible. I mean, he either does it right now because it just happened, or he does it you should probably wait till 4 to 6 weeks before the debate, because you might want the debate at that time. Something might have happened in between now and then.
I disagree. I say do it tomorrow. Trump has already told the public, you wasted my time.
He did?
Trump should be. He
said that today?
His job. Yeah.
Did he say that at his Virginia rally? I watched part of it. I love his rallies. Go ahead.
Yeah.
He did?
Should cancel it. There's no reason to have another debate. He needs to be on the campaign trail.
Thank you.
We let Biden hide out for a week, and Trump went into the Lion's Den to CNN.
Got it. Thanks. Great call. Do we have time for Greg? No. Okay, Greg and Dennison, you're next. You're first up to bat. We'll go right to you. Coming up next on the Chris Crock Show, we have 4 lines open for you at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. We haven't played the View's reaction. Have the hens at the View sold out Biden and said we're done with him or not? That is next on the Chris Crock Show. Plus, I have more information. A report today saying that donors have now are backing away from Joe Biden after the debate. I'll give you details. Did you hear? I forgot this one. Chip Roy. You know, he is the conservative Republican House member of the House from South and Central Texas. Chip Roy. He just announced that he wants to, he urged the vice president and the cabinet to strip Biden of his power to do 25th Amendment. Do I think that's a good idea or a bad idea to be urging them? I'll tell you, and I have a strong opinion. Next.
President Biden made an appearance at a watch party a little while after the debate, and he scarcely resembled the guy from earlier in the evening. So suddenly, no colds. Suddenly, he was 63. You know? Yeah. What happened?
Well, there we go. Thank you. Oh, let's hear what Not a Dr. Jill said a month ago on The View, too. That was The View. Here's Not a Dr. Jill on The View.
They built that in where they're going to turn off those mics so that somebody can't ramble or scream at somebody. Not that my husband would be the one doing that. No. And so that's already been negotiated. And, I think the American people deserve a debate because you need to see your choices. You need to see Trump, and you need to see the president, and you need to see the differences. And my husband's, and you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has. And then you'll see somebody who, like you're saying, I'm going to use Joy's words, can't put a sentence together, and everything is beautiful and it's wonderful.
Tremendous.
Tremendous. Yeah. So I think the American people deserve to see the two men who are running for this office, because your choice is going to be clear.
All right. Well, what do you say? Do you agree with that? I do. It was pretty clear, wasn't it? Interesting. Okay, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Joe picked the rules. He picked the hosts of the debate and the network. He picked the early debate, and he lost. It was his hubris and pride that made him do this. It also is his hubris and pride that bumped up he's going to get officially renominated officially by the delegates early, not in August 13th and 14th when they do the DNC in Chicago, my hometown, where there's going to be riots of 20 to 40,000 radical Islamists and Hamas lovers screaming at Joe for the cameras to see as riots happen with that sympathetic Chicago mayor, Brandon Johnson, that got this communist socialist cheering them on. Well, here's my questions for you. How is Biden done? I think he's done tonight. He's not going to be stepping out. He will not leave, nor can they remove him. But I think he's done. And how do you think the Democrats are going to force him to step down if they do? Who, I should say, they're going to put in there? Mrs. Hussein Obama, Gavin Newsom, Kathleen Kamala. All right. And by the way, let's add one more thing in here. Who do you want Trump to pick for the vice president? Because now we know he's most likely going to win the race. As of today, he's going to win. So honestly, this vice presidential pick is important, but it's also basically, I mean, it's on. He's going to win the presidency as of right now, handily. So who do you want him to pick? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I want Tim Scott, but I don't want him to run for president, or if he does, I don't want him to be nominated because he's a great vice, but he just doesn't have the spine to beat you up when he needs to. You know what I'm saying? But he does with Trump. Trump literally was truthful about him. He says nobody is stronger. You're amazing, and you're amazing. You're a fighter. You fight more for me and better for me than you do for yourself. And that's actually very accurate. He's too sweet of a guy, but he's I love that guy. Just he can't be the president. He's too weak. He would lose. All right. Let's go to your call. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. 3 lines open. And let us go to Greg in Denison, and then we'll get to you, Justin, in Stephenville. Greg, Denison, WBAP.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
I don't think there was ever a cold. The guy was hoarse. He's hoarse because for 7 days they were pushing him. They were in there prepping him. And they kept prepping him longer, thinking they'd get it. They were never going to get it because the guy can't do it. So after 7 days of being pushed and talking and fake, like prepping for it, the guy's voice went. His voice just wore out because for 7 days he stayed up past his bedtime, which is probably 6 p.m. And just like all of us, when we work harder and longer and
yes.
stay awake longer than we're supposed to. You get that scratchy throat. You get that little bit of sick because you're going too hard.
When I do doubles, double shifts fairly regularly.
You get that tinkle in your throat, right?
Yeah, a little tinkle, but actually it makes me a better host because I'm beaten down in a good way, and I'm like, I'm beat to hell because I only get like 3 to 5 hours sleep. Then I go to bed for maybe an hour or two. Then I go back. Sometimes I'll just pull a 5-hour sleep day and that's it, which is very difficult for me. But I'm raw, stripped down, and I think really good. And definitely a little raspy voice sounding for sure. I cough a little bit more, but this was stunning, wasn't it? The quality of his voice and the ability to talk and the mess up. This was stunning. Your analysis of why he was so bad, I think, is wonderful. And you know that he literally made 2 separate, huge, massive warehouse-like debate stages, just like CNN would have, like they had last night. One in a hangar at Camp David and one at a movie theater in Camp David. And 16 people, and look at what turned out.
Exactly right.
What a profound disaster. I could not have written a script that would have been as bad as this, and I would never have been so audacious to. And I actually think it was so bad that it actually might end up it's what's led to this profound push to get him out. And I wish it wasn't so profound. I wish it was kind of like half this, right?
I'm the same way. I want him to be the nominee because he's going to be the easiest guy to beat, and I'm worried that the performance was actually so bad that maybe something happens to him, maybe he has a medical emergency. At the last second they'll flip somebody in that we don't even really know because
that's why Van Jones just said tonight on CNN. Van said if Joe Biden gets elected, Kamala will be the president.
Right.
There you go.
That's exactly right.
Greg, you're a great caller, man. You're a good caller. You call in from time to time. Your calls are fantastic, Greg. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number. 2 lines wide open, 2 lines. 800-288-9227. Let's go to Jason in Stephenville. You're on WBAP.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Great, and I think your last caller nailed it. I think they probably overworked him and hurt him in the process.
I had never thought about that. Gosh, was that a good analysis?
Yes, it was. So I make no bones about it. I'm an RFK voter, like I told your screener. I hope Kennedy wins it, and I know that's a long shot. I voted for Trump twice.
Can I tell you why I wouldn't get Kennedy real fast?
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yeah. His one of his top campaign workers is a Soros-backed person, and is a radical environmentalist that wants to. I've got the notes in my little briefcase around the corner from me, so I can't get it. But she's a radical organization, a person that works for the Soros-backed organization. She's a radical environmentalist. She's all about ending fossil fuels, and he is a radical environmentalist lawyer who has on the record done many things that are radically bad for our environment, for our not environment but our energy, our competition, our oil and everything. Just so you know.
I hear you. I'm just done with the two-party system kind of. I'm that guy.
Okay, that's fine.
What I was going to say is, and I hope if Kennedy does not win, that Trump does win, and I'm sure he will. But I'm not a Biden supporter for certain.
Right.
But I believe that come July, if they sentence Trump, that he's going to be in jail and he's not going to be available for the September debate. That was really why I was calling.
Oh, you think he's going to be jailed? Now, listen, if that happens, I think that he's going to win by even more of a landslide.
And you're probably right. I'm just saying I don't think there's going to be a second debate.
Okay. Now, the last thing is, because this has been a huge thing we've been talking about. I love this part. I just kind of thought about it organically this afternoon. I'm like, dang, that's a great question. Do you think Trump should cancel that second debate?
I do not think he should. The quick answer is no, and certainly not publicly. I don't think he would cancel it, and well, for one, I think they should have let Kennedy in both debates. But two, anybody that says
but he shouldn't cancel. What if the polls show Trump way ahead, like a month before the debate in September, or a month and a half? Should he then drop out and say, screw it, I don't need it?
Giving you my answer, take it for what it's worth. I think that's cowardly. Whether it's him or Biden, either one says I don't want to make it, it makes him look like a coward.
Plus, he would never go back on his word, because if he did, he's going to look horrible, and he doesn't want to look bad. Thanks, Justin. Great call. Let's go to Patrick in Burleson. Patrick, what do you got? WBAP.
Hey, Chris, I just wasn't sure if you'd ever looked to see how many of the Democrat senators might go down with Joe.
Yes, this is a great question. This is a great question. May I answer a few things, or you want to tell me first?
Well, they've already got Montana and Ohio that are likely to switch over anyways, and West Virginia is definitely going. But you've got Arizona with Kerry Lake, and a bunch of others. If you count it up, it could be even as high as 57 seats.
Kerry Lake's not going to win. I hope she does, but she's not going to win. You're seeing in that state her still looking badly in the polling. Maybe I'm going to guess 7 to 10 points below below the other guy, and then in Pennsylvania, a Democrat, I think he's the governor there, who is chained at the hip with Biden, is running, and I think there's also a senator or a House member there, and they're still doing way better than Biden in Pennsylvania. So you're seeing that separation from Biden from other Democrats, but I think you're absolutely correct. Jon Tester is going to go down. In fact, I'm going to share with you a handful of tweets from I think Breitbart called it, because all these Senate people, there's all these people like literally connecting him, showing videos of Biden with them, campaigning with them, and saying how incredible he is, and they're all going to go down with him. I think so. At least the ones where it's very competitive.
Right.
I just don't think Kerry Lake's competitive. Go ahead.
Well, again, but that's what I'm wondering. How badly will Joe take down the Democrat that's
He
running
will.
against her.
I've got a story about that.
I think it's going to be a lot closer.
I'm going to share some highlights on that. You're right, because he's going to lose the Senate. In fact, one of the Democrats told Jackie Heinrich, we're going to lose the House and the Senate because of this, and we've lost the presidency because of that. That's stunning to hear them say that to her. Patrick, thanks for your great call tonight. We have two lines open, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. In order, we're going to take Nora in Fort Worth, Connor and Ponder, and Gene and Austin back to back to back. We do have time for everybody, so stand by. Coming up next, I'm going to give you the details on that, how the senators are locked to him. It's going to be bad for them. That's coming up next. Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. Let's hear a little Biden rally today. And no. You know what? Let's hear a montage from last night's debate with him and his gross errors.
Very bad night for Joe Biden.
Wrong one. I meant to do this one.
Take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me. We have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billions in America. What I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, and I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
Well said. Okay, here is the Associated Press. Watch this. Biden's debate performance leaves down-ballot Democrats anxious and quiet. Tammy Baldwin, Democrat re-election in Wisconsin, is facing a tough re-election bid. She all suddenly distances herself from Biden today. Isn't that amazing? Also, let's see who else we got. Continuing, there's other ones here. You got Maryland Democrat Angela Alsobrooks facing Republican Governor Larry Hogan for the Senate seat that just opened up. That's pretty amazing. Pennsylvania, Senator Bob Casey. Oh, gosh, he's up. He is screwed, is what they're saying today, too. Let's see who else. And there's a few more. John Tester is a dead man walking after this, is what I understand. Sherrod Brown from Ohio is a dead man walking too now, is what I understand too. Like, as far as some of the people saying, because there's videos with him saying Biden's the best for all these people. That's going to be played every day. They're done. You could lose 3 more Senate seats or 4 more Senate seats after that, which is why a top Democrat told Jackie Heinrich from Fox News last night after the debate, we're going to lose the Senate and the House, and we're going to lose the presidency, which is stunning to hear that from a top Democrat directly to her. All right. And Chip Roy just urged Vice President Kamala and the cabinet to strip Biden of his power after the debate performance. He's asking for them to invoke the 25th Amendment. Chip, are you trying to win for the Democrats? Are you trying to get the Democrats to win the election? What are you, stupid? Don't call for the 25th Amendment. Don't attack him like that. Be truthful, but don't go after him like that. You're literally, I like Chip Roy most of the time. Dude, you're literally helping Biden. Shut up and don't say he needs to be the 25th Amendment. Say it was a horrible performance. And I'm glad he's running against Trump because he's losing. Don't say that. I don't think they're going to do it. They pretty much, there's no way they're going to do it. I've told you why ad infinitum tonight. But dude, stop it. You're helping them. You're giving them ideas. Nora in Fort Worth, you are on WBAP. What's up?
Well, you just shot down my idea because if
okay, no, go with your idea. Maybe I'm wrong. Go.
The 25th Amendment.
Yeah, well, tell me why you think it's possible, because I want to tell you what I think, and then you can react to that. I think that Kathleen Kamala will never remove Joe because if it's not going to pass, because that's all his cabinet is going to have to do that to him. They won't. They work at his pleasure, and if they fail at it, he'll fire whoever does it. It'll ruin Kamala's chances because they're not going to be able to do it. And it'll ruin the people on the cabinet, the reputations and such, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Besides, I think Kamala really doesn't want to run because she knows she'll lose.
You know, Van Jones tonight said that she will be, if Joe Biden does win the election, she'll be the president.
Well, that's true.
It's amazing, though, to say that now directly, because
I know he's really saying some gutsy things.
Yeah,
and, I do believe that they'll knock him off if he doesn't go. And also,
you think the Dems are gonna do a Hillary or an Epstein to him? Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, they did it to Kennedy.
Yes, I believe that's true.
I was 13 years old. I was on the corner of that right there by Market Hall on Wycliffe, and I saw the limousine go by, and I saw his dead body. Wow. I saw him alive at Love Field, then I saw him dead, and they did it.
You know, most people would not think you were being honest about that, but since you actually live here and you're a lifer, I don't even blink on that. It's pretty profound. Thank you for your great call tonight, Nora. Look forward to your next one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.